Hello, my name is Sylvia Shoyum and welcome to my tropical Uranian astrology video. Today I will be presenting to you the Ajka alumina plant accident in Hungary that happened on 4th of October 2010 at 12:05 p.m. Originally, when I recorded this event, I recorded 12:05 p.m. However, if you are looking at the internet, you will find additional time points, such as 12:25 p.m. But here we will be analyzing the initial 12:05 time point. The Ajka alumina red sludge spill was an industrial accident due to multiple neglects. This happened at a chemical waste reservoir of a plant in Hungary. The dam of a reservoir collapsed, freeing approximately 1 million cubic meters of liquid waste from red mud lakes. Afterwards, it flooded several nearby villages. Altogether, 10 people were reported to be dead and 150 were injured. Also, countless animals perished. The survivors reported as they heard that the murmur of this flood was mixed with the death rattle of animals who were trapped in their barns and hutches. Afterwards, this concentrated alkali mud went on and first reached the Torna Creek, where all living beings perished, including bacteria. Then the sludge reached the Marsa River in Hungary with the same deadly destruction. Then the mud further poisoned River Raba and Danube. So altogether, this was also an ecological catastrophe. So after this introduction, let's look at this event from a tropical Uranian astrology point of view. I will be presenting to you a modern branch of Uranian astrology that does not use houses. However, it uses, besides, of course, the 360-degree wheel, a so-called dial. The most popular one is the 90-degree dial that rearranges all aspects in such a way that hard aspects such as conjunctions, oppositions, and squares will be right next to each other on the dial. This is a very unique part of Uranian astrology because no other system has a movable mathematical astronomical dial. Besides this, Uranian astrology uses the classical planets that are used by Western astrology, but it also uses 8 trans-Neptunian planets, shortly TMPs. It also uses hard aspects and precise mathematical midpoints, forming planetary pictures that can be seen wonderfully by this dial. Besides all of these points and objects, the vernal point, or in other words, the tropical zero Aries, also has a very, very important role in Uranian astrology. In fact, it represents birth events, or how a native can become famous or infamous, or if he or she has a point or planet in hard aspect with a zero Aries point. Let's look at the tropical 360 wheel first of this event. Here you can see that Black Moon Lilith, the moon's apogee, and actually I'm using true Black Moon Lilith, is in tight hard aspect to both zero Aries as well as the ICMC axis. Not only that, but Black Moon Lilith is retrograde. In my interpretation, Black Moon Lilith represents negative events regarding women or the population, as well as abuse and violence. Because it is retrograde and it is conjunct the zero Aries point, we already know that this event that happened in Ajka is a negative event. Now you can see on the wheel that actually a very tight grand cross is formed, because not only is Black Moon Lilith conjunct the IC and in fact also the zero Aries axis, but also the midheaven and Mercury are opposition to it, and Mercury represents mobility and thinking. On the other hand, they both square Pluto, that represents in a positive way transformation, but in a negative sense it represents underworld energies. And on the other side, the Black Moon Lilith IC Mercury points all square Hades, which is a trans-Neptunian planet. And in fact, Hades is the higher octave of Pluto, again representing underworld energies and everything that is ugly, disgusting, and unpleasant. And Hades is retrograde. This is a very tight Grand Cross, and Grand Crosses represent very, very strong energies. But even if you disregard the trans-Neptunian planets, we still have a very strong T-square here. Now I'm going to switch the 90-degree Uranian dial, which, as you can see, rearranges all these hard aspects. So now all of them actually can be seen on the top of the dial near 0 Aries. Firstly, we can look at pairs of these energies to see what they mean according to the legendary Witte and Lefeld book. For example, the first pair that I want to analyze is 0 Aries in hard aspect with Black Moon Lilith. Well, I have to tell you that the Witte book does not have Black Moon Lilith in it, so when I interpret such aspects, I use the moon, but I always add the negative connotation of abuse or negative energies regarding women or the public. So the two together may mean the following: bad things concerning female, the public, or a nation. According to the Witte book, the second pair, for example 0 Aries in hard aspect with Hades, means nothing else than catastrophes, general poverty, plagues, misfortune, tribulations, and mines. And I think this is very interesting because these reservoirs, which were actually under the ground, basically were similar to mines. 0 Aries in hard aspect with Mercury represent general thinking, general opinion, news, and motion. Now let's put three of these energies together. If we consider 0 Aries in hard aspect with both Black Moon Lilith and Mercury, we can say that this event was about an adverse public opinion and the motion of something that creates adverse circumstances. 0 Aries in combination with Mercury and Hades means that the public is in an ugly mood. 0 Aries in hard aspect with Black Moon Lilith and Hades means poor inhabitants, poor nation, losses of the people, depressed mind, prisoner, and people who are held captive or hostage. And in fact, we can see that all these planetary pictures are also in hard aspect with Uranus, so this event happened suddenly and unexpectedly. Now we can look at further parts of the dial and look at hard aspects. We can see that there is a hard aspect between Moon and Neptune, for instance. It is also interesting because if we switch back to the real format, we can see that Moon is in the 8th house of transformation and death. On top of that, Neptune is retrograde. Moon-Neptune hard aspects, according to the Witte book, mean the following: change in weather, gas, to be dazed or not being conscious, and deceiving or deceived women and population. Because all this is also hard aspect with Chiron, the wounded healer, and Chiron is retrograde in the chart, we can say that all this event was painful and potentially included injuries. Not only that, but we can observe a very tight Neptune and Admetos square. Admetos is again a trans-Neptunian planet, and similar to Neptune, it is retrograde, signifying that it is very important in the event and it is going to be deadly, because Admetos is the higher octave of Saturn and it represents the ultimate blockage, and in a sense it also represents death. A Neptune-Admetos hard aspect, according to the Witte-Lefeld book, means narcotics, poisons, a deadly poison or drink, freezing and thawing, and decay. And now we can again consider that is all in hard aspect with Chiron, representing injuries. A Moon-Neptune Admetos hard aspect combination, in fact, according to the Vita book, means that a nation is facing destruction and misfortune, and it is also the hour of desperation. So to sum up, this planetary picture signals deadly poisons that resulted in injuries and destruction among the population. On the dial, we can observe another interesting hard aspect between Kronos, a trans-Neptunian planet, nodes, and I'm using true nodes here, and Saturn. This planetary picture means the following: disagreeable matters through the chief, hindrances by the power of the state, to be separated by the government or some superior power, and connections with corporations of economical instability. And finally, we can also see next to this on the dial a Sun-Saturn node hard aspect that stands for physical separations. So to sum up all this information that we could see using tropical Uranian astrology, it is indicated that the public is affected by underworld energies that involve poisons. Corporation and the government also plays an important role in the event, of course via corruption. Well, I hope that you enjoyed the analysis, and you will find me in the Uranian Astrology group as well as in the Uranian Astrology page on Facebook. Have a nice day.